Mabuhay, YouTube friends. I want to thank everyone that subscribed and liked my videos and shorts. This video will go into how we made our LDR, long distance relationship, work. The things that we did, the things that helped us to build a bond between the two of us, and the little things that we did to keep our relationship growing through the pandemic. Since this is about me and my special lady, I need to tell you her name, and her name is Elizabeth. Elizabeth has become my best friend and my wife. We first began speaking to each other in February of 2020, and it has been 5 years now, and we have been happy together, and we have enjoyed our life together. And it only got better once I got to the Philippines and we met each other in person. But until that point, we had quite a story. First of all, it all started with a dating site. There are some things that are unique to our experience that it's different. When after we met online, everything started with a hello. And after that hello, we came to the conclusion that we liked each other. So instead of us texting and just calling each other, we initiated video. Video is a very important aspect of the long distance relationship. You need to be able to do video. Video is very important in a long distance relationship because whenever you use video, there's nothing being hid. Even though the person is many miles away from you, you can still see the expressions on their face. You can see the excitement, the sadness, the happiness, the anger. You can read the emotions of that person. Now, in the world that we live in today, there are so many out there that are scamming people for money and debit cards and different things. And that is a very sad reality. So when you enter into a long distance relationship, it's very important that the person that you become involved with is someone you can get in contact with on video. Because most of your scammers will only text you. Some of them will talk on the phone, but you never know if you're talking to the person or if they have employed someone to speak to you. So either one of those methods are kind of risky. But video, it is the tell-all. Well, back to our story. I first called her when I was on lunch from my job. It was lunchtime. I went up to the seafood place there in town, and I was sitting there in my car, and we had talked all night back and forth on the phone. And so I gave her a call, and while I was on my lunch break, and that was actually the first audio conversation we had. And she told me, she said, I have a surprise for you, and tonight I will reveal it. So I'm like, what is she going to surprise me with? I kind of had an idea, but I really didn't know for sure. So I went through my workday and went home, and sure enough, I got a video call. So I answered the call, and there she was, just as beautiful as she was in her pictures. And she, um, when I first seen her, I was stunned. I was literally stunned because I had had dreams about this woman. I had seen her when I was praying, and it was like, wow, God works in mysterious ways. God has a way of putting people together. But anyhow, after that, and after I got past my stun, we talked all night. We talked for hours. I think it was something like 5 or 6 hours that we talked. And we talked about everything under the sun. And that was just before COVID began. And from that point on, uh, we would talk to each other. We averaged anywhere from 8 to 10 hours to all day long. But we talked about everything. We asked every question we could imagine. We got to know each other's family. I introduced her to my mother and my brothers, um, a few of the people at my work, the ones I could trust. And that's something that you really need to be careful with if you get into a long distance relationship before it gets very far along and you really know that you have a solid relationship with that person. You need to kind of keep that information on the down low. You don't want to just rush out and go telling everyone that, hey, I met somebody online and they're wonderful, because it could come back to get you. Everyone you meet on a dating site these days are wonderful. You cannot allow yourself to just jump in head first like I have done in the past, and I got in big trouble and scammed because I did not know what I was doing. Never send money. Never do that. If they start asking you for cards, they start asking you for personal information, you have to toughen yourself up and say no. And if they keep aggravating you, and they will, you have to block them. Many times they'll get another number and they'll call you again, or they'll text you again. You just have to keep blocking numbers until they get the message. Back to the subject of this video, which is my relationship with Elizabeth. And we we did a few things. I did a few things that I'd never seen done in a long distance relationship. I guess others do it, but I began to go mobile. I would get on a video call with her, and we would go to, I would take her to Walmart and we would shop together. We would go on long road trips through the country of Kentucky, and we would go over to my family. She would talk with them as if she was there with me in the physical. And she even celebrated Thanksgiving dinner with us at my brother's house. They all accepted me before I even came to the Philippines. We became a family during the time of COVID. And if you remember COVID, it was a very difficult time. During that time, Elizabeth and I was there for each other to, um, we cried together, we laughed together, we had religious, I'll get it out in a minute. We had religious discussions, we had political discussions, we had discussions about um, sex, we had discussions about um, academia, and you can, I mean, we covered every subject from our favorite color to our favorite movies to our children, our grandchildren, the things, the little things that you just miss about a person. We ate meals together. Whenever I ate a meal, she was there looking at me, giving me all of her insights um, on what I was eating. She's a nutritionist and a amazing cook. She really intrigued me, and Even though we had met online, um, within 3 days after we had met each other, we deleted uh, the dating site. We got to a point that we talked to each other every day, between 8 and 10 hours a day. She would call me of a morning and wake me up, get me ready for work, remind me of the things like turning off lights, turning off the coffee pot, sending me off to work. I began to rely on her. She became my alarm clock and my conscience. She became my director. We had become so involved and so in love with each other. And during the time that we were together, neither one of us asked the other for money. There was no solicitation whatsoever. It was all about love. She never asked for anything, although I would have given her everything I had. I loved her that much. By January, I had gotten my passport, and those that live in America know that we got those stimulus checks, and I had a little 401k, and God came into the scene, and it seemed like everything that I needed, everything that I came up with an excuse not to come to the Philippines, God made a way. He provided the money I needed. He provided the documentations that I needed. Those that know me know that I have only lived in the United States. I've never been outside of the continental United States. Kentucky has always been my home. I'd never been on a plane. I'd never been on an airplane. So here I am, and I have fallen in love. Let me set the stage for you, with a Filipino woman that is 8,170 some miles away. I'm going to have to eliminate my car, my furniture, my house I was renting, and give up everything, my job, everything that I had, uh, get a flight to the Philippines, set up my retirement, and get ready to go on a long and fantastic journey, go where I had never been and gone before, as they say in Star Trek. And I did that. The flight was good, and I got into the Philippines May 4th, 2022, and I met the love of my life. I met Miss Elizabeth, and she was every bit as beautiful and every bit as wonderful as she had been to me those 2.5 years that we spent apart and together in video. Thank you, and goodbye. Until next time, we will have new videos that will be coming out within the next week or two. I hope that you will stop by and check out whatever subject we go into next. And again, thank you, and bye.